Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I'm just in sweats today and I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit kind of about what's just going on. We're still obviously in this pandemic. Trying to conceive anytime is a challenge, but especially now during this pandemic. And I just want to kind of talk about some of the things that I'm doing. Maybe if you're not trying to conceive, just kind of seeing this perspective from it. One thing in particular, I kind of mentioned this in my last TTC video, and that is just the difficult part about all of this is just those who are already in kind of like the infertility treatment phase, where you are having to miss appointments or do appointments virtually, or maybe you've had canceled surgeries and all that kind of stuff. Like, that part of it is so gut-wrenching, and I talked about that in my last video, so I'm not going to elaborate on that, but I felt like I needed to kind of mention that, especially for those who might not understand that, you know, going through this during a pandemic has consequences and challenging things that happen like that. Another thing I think that it could be scary is if you are trying to conceive and we don't know how many months that this pandemic will last, and it's like, okay, well, what if you do conceive? And then you have to go to doctor's appointments, and you don't really want to be out going to doctor's appointments, but you definitely want to go to them. I think that's just another challenge to kind of keep in mind. I do work in the healthcare world. I don't work in like a clinic or anything, and I'm not clinical, but I can tell you that from what I know, a lot of clinics are taking precautions, and I think like an OB office is probably safer than obviously a regular primary care office. But I would just say wearing a mask and all of that, if you're going to the offices, is probably definitely something you want to do, at least right now and until we kind of see more of what our future looks like. But that is definitely scary to think, okay, if I conceive right now, I've got to go to a doctor's appointment, and then I don't really want to be going, but it's a necessity and you should be going. So that's something that's kind of in the back of my mind as well. A few, like, I guess, things that I'm kind of doing right now. I talked to you all a little bit that I was really hopeful to be able to go to a fertility clinic over the past few months. Like, I really thought I was going to set up an appointment and finally go. And I had found a clinic that seemingly has good reviews, and I wanted to kind of just, you know, do that initial appointment and fill it out for myself and kind of feel if I felt like it was something that, a place that I felt comfortable at. Unfortunately, the job that I have right now, I am unable to go out of a certain perimeter, basically like our service area, and so the clinic that I am wanting to go to is out of the service area, so I could not go to that initial appointment even if they would allow me to. And you know, I don't know that that's the best thing to do anyways, to be going, because this clinic is in a larger populated area. Like, I don't think that that's the smartest thing to do anyway, so that is discouraging to not be able to go ahead and go to that clinic and do that. But also, like I talked about in my last video, I'm kind of at peace with it, because I feel like, you know, if it's not the right timing and I can't do it right now, then it's likely it just wasn't supposed to happen right this second, and that is okay. I know that once this settles down a little bit, you know, we will be able to go to the clinic and then, you know, get that evaluation, and hey, you never know, we might be pregnant before then, and so even better. So because we can't go to the infertility clinic or anything, a few things that I have been doing is honestly just focusing on the positive, on, you know, taking care of myself. I've been I mean, there have been days where I've ate really crappy, but then there's a lot of days where I feel like I've eaten better and healthier for my body. Another thing that I have done is I did listen to the book, It Starts with the Egg, and I have seen out there that a lot of people have had success with reading that book and implementing some of the natural ways of kind of helping yourself conceive. I am not going to talk about what that looks like for me or what to do based off of that, because I finished the book, but because I did it on audio, I really have to go back and find the plan that fits my situation the best, and then, you know, order those supplements or whatever it recommends. But I will say I enjoyed the book. It was very informative. I think it's kind of hard to, if you're listening to it on audio, you really need to take notes. I have some notes to go by, but I really got to go back and make sure that I'm doing the correct thing for my situation. So I'm not going to talk much about that anymore, but it is something that I listened to, have completed listening to, and now I'm in the process of ordering supplements or things that would be better. I'm also kind of just trying to implement some of the practices that that book recommends. And I really honestly liked the perspective from that book, because I think her first edition, it's kind of like the second edition, but it's really like edits to the first edition to get it up to date. And she does mention how you don't want to stress yourself out. You don't want to, it's all about moderation. I have been trying to stay active and kind of focusing on my diet a little bit more. Like I said, I'm not like super hardcore because I don't want to stress myself out or anything. But just incorporating more healthier options has been good. What else? Oh, I do think that I have had the time to really focus on my faith and to really kind of just like think, like just had time to think about what's important and to kind of see, you know, that this is a top priority in my life. A lot of times I take breaks, and it's totally okay to take breaks and to just not focus so hardcore, like you know, just all the different methods that you can do. But I do think for a little while I kind of just put everything on the back burner just to kind of give myself a break. And now through this I realized like it really is more of a priority than anything else in my life. Having a family, having a child, and knowing that I do feel like I'm ready, but obviously I have to wait and know that his timing will ultimately be the best timing. So I don't know if that was all just a jumble of all kinds of stuff, but that's kind of where I'm at. I am seriously praying for all of you all during this pandemic, and I hope that you all stay healthy and safe, and I hope that you stay in a good place mentally and really focus on ways to kind of help with that and to kind of get yourself into a better place until this is all over. Yeah, so hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.